Education is the key to change the society. This is VJ Christopher B. Sevillano, and today I'll be presenting education and its effects on social change. But before I proceed, disclaimer. All the graphics and photos used in this presentation are not mine. Credits are due to the owners. This is a photo of a young Manny Pacquiao. Before the fame and the glory, before the wealth and the political influence, he was a simple kid. But he has a dream. He wanted to succeed. That's why he studied the art of boxing. It became his stepping stone to reaching the heights he is in now. But aside from the 8 world titles from different divisions that he won, aside from the fights that he conquered, he also won the people's hearts. That's why he is now sitting in the Senate as one of the true voices of the Filipino people. But what is the connection of Manny Pacquiao to social change? We'll discover that later. So let us define social change. According to Cliff's Notes, it refers to any significant alteration over time in behavior patterns and cultural values and norms. So by significant alterations, sociologist means changes yielding profound social consequences. So an action may have chain reactions. An influence can change something. So when we talk about alteration, that is the change that is happening in that aspect. According to Jones, social change is a term used to describe variations and movements of social progress, social interactions, or social organizations. So social change has a lot of aspects. We start with culture. So culture, the way people believe and what they believe and how they believe and how they act on what they believe, how they dress on what they believe is part of the culture. So sometimes if there are different culture that is exposed to a person, for example, a Filipino person went to the United States of America. Because of that culture in America, he needs to change his ways. Sometimes culture changes according to necessity and according to decision also. Because he can also decide to retain his culture as a Filipino while in another place. Next is attitude. So the way people act, the way people think is part of their attitude. Formulation of personality, character, and so on. So attitude is also a key factor in social change. Positive attitude contributes to positive outcome outside the person's environment. Okay? Religion is also an aspect of social change. You also have politics, a big aspect of social change as it affects a lot of people. So in a country we have politics, but politics is supposed to be good. I don't know what is happening with the politicians. Okay, politics is supposed to be serving people for their betterment. Economy. So social change relies or is anchored in economy at a high ground. When we say economy, we're talking about the socioeconomic state of a person, socioeconomic status condition. So when they have education, they have an opportunity to elevate themselves from one point under to another point upward and so on and so forth. Just like what Manny Pacquiao did. He had his stepping stones to economic success. Lastly, we have science and technology, which is reliant to social change, as social change is also reliant to science and technology. So in the case of simple Manny Pacquiao, going to a world champion Manny Pacquiao to the politician Manny Pacquiao, it is not only himself that he has helped. He also helped other people. People believe in him. He influenced people. People are motivated because of him. He also helped them financially. So economical wise, he is helping. He also helped the whole province of Sarangani. And in general, the whole Philippines. So that is the range of one man changing himself. That is the influence of one person to social change. Education and social change. Vygotsky's theories stress the fundamental role of social interaction in the development of cognition, as he believed strongly that the community plays a central role in the process of making meaning. So social change is in here. Why and how? So when the community is educated, they will know how to influence a child. If the child is misguided, that is because of his immediate community. So it is a circular motion wherein a person is being educated for him to educate also his people in the community. Education is a process of receiving or giving systematic instruction, especially at a school or university. It is also an enlightening experience. So what are the roles of education in social change? First, education instills values. How? It is building character. It is also preparing learners for adult life, for them to survive. So the school is a preparation for the real war outside the school, which is life itself. Development of a personality. That's very important for a person to know what he wants and what he needs to be and what he wants to be. A control and sublimation of basic instinct. Not only what to think, but also how to think and react on situations. Development of sense of community. So again, he is not just working for himself, he's just educating himself for himself, but for his community. Lastly, to encourage social welfare. At the end of the day, that's the main goal of education, to instill to the minds of the learners that we are not living for ourselves only. It also prepares an individual to accept change. How? Knowledge in different aspects of life is being shared. So we help them to be open-minded, because if they are reluctant to change, nothing will change. And as the saying goes, nothing will change unless the person change. If he had bad habits and people would not say that to him directly, he would not change that bad habit. In turn, he will become a liability instead of being an asset in the community. Understanding of the necessities, weighing the wants and the needs. Weighing decisions, what to do and how to do things in certain situations. Those are very, very helpful weapons for them in their real life. Education also mends barriers and conflicts. It is the key towards opening people's eyes to the problems of the society. Proper education then guides them to resolve the problem rather than making it bigger. Education eradicates illiteracy. Then the ripple continues to break the barriers of social interactions and cultural conflicts. Education also institutes democratic values. So we are not only educating children to be followers, we are molding them to become leaders. We are paving a way for social reconstruction because when they do have education, they will know what to do on circumstances. They will have solutions for problems. It also fosters cultural consciousness. So we educate learners for them to have this sense of preservation of the culture. So we pass this culture from one person to another through education. It is very important because we need to preserve culture, not just the culture itself, but also we are preserving our identity as Filipinos. For example, those traits that are distinctly Filipinos or actions that are unique to Filipinos are the mano po, the saying of po and opo in other respects. For example, in America, they don't have those kinds of their culture is calling their parents by name. So it is very, very important for our kids or learners here to know that you don't call your parents or elders by name. We call them ate, lolo, or we use po and opo. Aside from that, we also have this patronization. When we talk about patronization, we are taught in school for example, we have this saying, tangkilikin ang sariling atin. So we need to consume what is locally made. However, we have this attitude as Filipino that we are more attracted to stateside brands than Filipino made. When we talk about local, we immediately say those are very, very weak brands or very, very poor quality brands. That needs to change. And in school, we are teaching that. We also have promotion. So we need also to promote this to other countries, and still we have these natives that are foreigners in our own land. So we need to promote those cultures to them. Through education, we can do that. And we can enhance the consciousness of people in terms of our culture. The role of education in social change in the Philippines. Filipinos view that education is more important in changing economic status in life. It is firmly believed that the proper education elevates people from poverty. Education strengthens gender equality. Education helps a person distinguish which group is right for him or her. Education is power. Education is freedom. Role of education in social change in India. Generally, Indians view the effect of education to social change diversely because there are cultural traditions that triggers it. Positive views from Bauna include changing the attitude of people, creating desire for change, promoting capacity to welcome and adopt social change, and evaluation of social change. Contemporary minds believe that education can free the country from rampant gender and religious discriminations. Education as a gateway to improving the quality of life, and education as a tool in improving leadership and governance. To sum this presentation, here is a quote from Central University of Kashmir. Education can initiate social change by bringing about a change in outlook and attitude of man. It can bring about a change in the pattern of social relationships and institutions, and thereby it may cause social change. Thus, education has brought about phenomenal changes in every aspect of man's life. These are my references. Thank you very much and stay safe.